Today, as we prepare to close out the year, 1/12, of the year is left. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? So today, I wanted to talk about the difference between the most successful doctors, even here in the great dental success universe, and those that are, they do all right. Do you want to be a champion, or you just want to be a winner? You can win some games, but you don't really get to the glory of the championship. There's really one difference, aside from the dreams and the hopes and the aspirations. Most people listening to this here today, they set out with great expectations. They have the best of intentions. But the one difference between those that have and those that have not, those that do and those that do not, it really comes down to two key words. And that's, you must become a finisher. You must be a person of completion. That's it. That's the difference. Are you a finisher? Because many people can start, but it takes a champion to finish. Even many people can create. I talk about creation all the time, but lots of people create, but very few people complete. So I want you to think about in your life right now. Are you going to coast out of this year? Are you going to settle in, hunker down, and you're just going to let the last month of the calendar pass you by? Or are you going to be a finisher and you're going to be a completion champion? So I want to ask you this, A couple weeks ago, actually my wife was listening to something and studying some special concept. She just reread the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Maybe the most significant book of positivity and self-talk ever created. You got to do it. Every year, really, you got to do it. And she came across this phrase. And I thought it was such a great phrase. I can't believe I haven't thought about it myself, as a matter of fact. And it was one phrase, and it was called this. It said, most people, they live inside of this vicious cycle. They just go around and around and around. And the only way to break out of that and become a completer, to become a finisher, is called close the loops. Most people stay stuck in the loop, around and around and around and around. We want to close the loops. So this week, I challenge you to make a list of the loops you want to close. I challenge you to choose the priorities that you want to finish. I challenge you to make compartments of time that allow you to be a person of completion. That's it. The rest of the year, all things are not created equal. As a matter of fact, the whole year through. But so many people, they will just rush through the end of the year and they'll start January with a big giant to-do list of last year's lack of completion. Do not be most people. Instead, choose the greatest built-in deadline of all time to leave this year where it is. To finish 2025 with anything that needs to be done, get it done now. So that in 2026, we can start fresh. We can start renewed. Not with the old, but with the new. So what are you going to be, finisher? What are you going to be, a completion? This all comes down to being proactive versus reactive. And I want to draw your attention to one other thing. Inspect what you expect. Let me give you an example. Winners are not surprised, Doctors who show up at the morning huddle and they're surprised by their day. They show up at the end of the month and they're surprised by their month. This is all crazy. People that show up for a patient visit and they're surprised by what they find. No. The greatest champions, they've already visualized success. They've already prepared for the best things to happen. So today, I want you to double down. And I want you to say, in 2025, what must we finish this year? Okay, I want you to say in your morning huddles, your end of days, your every single weeks, I want you to decide, okay, what are we going to focus on in terms of being a completion person? A practice that is about getting things done, not leaving things undone. And I want you to apply this same principle to your patients. As a matter of fact, I just gave you the greatest way to close more treatment right here. Close the loops. If you close the loops for you, you can close the loops for them, and vice versa. If you leave a lot of treatment undone, if you leave treatment plans, pathways to health incomplete, guess what? If you are incomplete in some areas of your life, you're going to be incomplete in all areas of your life. Okay? It is the traits of a champion that understands not just starting but finishing, not just making a list but completing the list. A person who knows how to close the loops. The more loops you stay within, the less you will ever get done. You'll be very busy and it won't amount to anything at all. So this is what we're going to do. As a team right now, we're going to make a list of all the loops we must close. We're going to prioritize the remaining aspects of the year and the time available. We're going to decide what we will finish and what we will complete. We are then going to move forward with a mindset of being proactive, okay, of creating success in the future, not trying to close up the past, undone tasks. When you go to inspect what you expect, this means you will be a person who will follow through. Hey, that's the message this week. It's very simple. In what areas of your life are you leaving things undone? Okay? Close the loops. Champions are finishers. Champions are people who focus on completion. And right there, you will find the greatest breakthrough to close out your year before you open a beautiful brand new one. And that, my friends, that's the Practice Profit Report for this week that you can rinse and repeat for every single week of your life. But we're going to start right now for the rest of the year so we can make this year count, and then we can unwrap and open up a beautiful brand new 2026. First, what loops will you close so that you can complete 2025 and you can start anew in the year ahead?